morning students. So today we are going to see Android manifest file exclusively. So we already discussed what is a manifest file when we are discussing anatomy of Android application in our last session. So this manifest file will be under the anatomy of Android Studio. So myself Dr. Shirisha, Associate Professor from CSE Department, MLR Institute of Technology. What is a manifest file? So every project will have a Android manifest.xml with this name because it's a root of the project. Whatever the project you are doing, so this manifest file will be the root. Under that only we'll write an activity. Suppose if you have a manifest tag, so in this manifest tag we will have activity tags, so that all the code, whatever you're writing, whatever it is applicable here, this is related to your activity.xml. Okay, so this will be the root part. And the app's package name matches the code's namespace. So whatever the package name that we are giving, suppose if you are giving the project name as name as hello, then what will be your package? Your package will be com.example.hello. It will directly take this. So it should usually matches. Okay, and build tools replace this value with application ID from the Gradle build files. That is, internally it uses the particular ID for the application, which is used as a unique identifier when you wanted to use it from the Google Play Store. Then components of the app, which include all activities. So these are all the basic building blocks of your manifest file. So one is activities, services, broadcast receivers, and content providers. Activities are the basic XML activities that we are going to write, whether it is colors.xml, strings.xml, anything, style.xml, whatever you are writing. An activity underscore main.xml related to our layout, and different types of services to display the messages, to send the messages to phone, like that. And the broadcast receivers are when you send a message one to many, then one person is sending a message to many receivers. So there you need to use these broadcast receivers. Content providers, where it is used for displaying the content using various components and of the XML. Various components in the sense edit text, text view, and all the view components, radio buttons, check boxes. Okay, all such. So all these four are known as the building blocks of the Android. So one is activity, service, broadcast, content provider. These are the four building blocks of the Android Studio. And then permissions are also can set using this manifest file. So permissions are also there to access the applications based upon the given permissions. And how to give the permissions, that I'll show you. Hardware and software features of require, which affects which devices can install the app. So there are Android applications can be installed in the Android phones only. And these Android phones, if you wanted to support iOS platforms also, then what is need to be done? So such hardware and software features are also to be known. So here manifest file consists of a root node. It is a root node, and whatever the app information, it describes essential information of a particular application. And package name, it replaces your your Gradle build files. It takes a unique identifier to get it downloaded or deployed. And the components such as activities, services, broadcast, and content providers. These are the building blocks of Android application. And manifest file is also responsible for giving the permissions, whether to whom it has to be accessed and all. So this is about the manifest file. And we have just seen what is the purpose of manifest file. Here, what are the file features that we have? We have a package name and application ID. Manifest file root elements will have the app's package name. Suppose if you could see this code, You have started with the XML prologue statement. This manifest is a root tag. So manifest file is a root tag. XMLN is Android, where it is the namespace that we have defined in this particular link. And package is given by default as your package application name. My app is application name. So com.example.mypackage will be the package name. And this is the basic default code of which version of Android you are using. So manifest file code it will give as 1 and 1.0. So these are the different codes that you can write in between your manifest as a root tag. So especially for package, we'll take the name of your package name, application name. Then while building your application into final application, that is a APK file. APK file is nothing but an application package. So how many XML programs you are doing, how many Java programs you are doing, all together you have to merge them. You have to bind into one file. So then you can deploy that final APK file. It will use two things to use this APK file. So it applies this name as a namespace, r.java class, okay, r.java class. Then you have to give com.example.myapp. This is the package name. If you wanted to apply this name as a namespace for your apps generated or.java class, then you have to make sure you have to give .or also. So it uses this name to resolve any relative class names. So if you have any relative class names, same class names if you are giving, then it is used to avoid those ambiguities. So here we are giving activity, Android name, main activity. Main activity is here main activity.java. So that main activity.java is binded with your manifest file using this activity tag with the property Android name. So here you are accessing your Java. Okay, so is resolved to be com.example.myapp.main activity. Now package has been changed to main activity. Here we are talking with the resources, so it is myapp.or. App components. As we have discussed, the building blocks of Android. So these are the building blocks: activity, service, receiver, broadcast receiver, content provider. Your app component, for each app component that you create, you must declare the XML elements in the manifest file for these things. Okay. Activity is like your XML. Service is different services like sending the messages, getting the pop-up messages, pop-up boxes and all. Broadcast receiver, one to many or many to one. Content provider, all the different view system components and all the components of your activity. So how you declare them? So first root node will be the manifest file. Under this parent tag, we can say parent tag for your activity will be the application. So this is the parent tag of your activity. In the activity, you are giving Android name. So that is you are accessing your Java part main activity.java. So in this way, these are the tags that you are going to define under the manifest file so that these will be binded together. Now intents. Coming to intents. Intents is also one type of activity that we are talking about. Intent maybe belong to one application or maybe belong to different applications. So when app issues an intent to the system locates an app component that can handle intent-based intent filter. If you wanted to navigate from one page to other page, say this is a WhatsApp, okay, and here this is a WhatsApp status. So from this page to this page, if you wanted to navigate, we use what? Intents. There are two different types of intents. We'll discuss the particular types of intents when we are going to discuss about the intents. But as of now, intent filters are used to declare these intents, okay, in the manifest file. System launches the instance of matching component. What are the intent filter you are using? So accordingly, if it matches, then it passes the intent object to that component and that will get executed or that will be loaded into your application. So intent is where you use intent filters in the manifest file to declare or to define the intents that you are going to use in your application. Icons and labels. Number of manifest elements have icons and also label attributes. For displaying small icons, text label respectively. If you are using for a small icons, we use icon, and for labels we use a label attribute. So these are also why we need these icons and labels is, suppose if you wanted to load your WhatsApp, what we'll do, we'll double click on the icon only. Initially we go with the icon. So if the icon is not there, then how you will just make a shortcut to launch your application? So it is a interface where it is making the users to just on a click you can launch your application. So that's the use of that icon. Then permissions, whether there may be sometimes you need to give the access, sometimes you may not able to, or you no need to give the access. In such cases, must request the permission to access sensitive user data information, that is contacts or SMS, and or certain features such as camera and internet access. So every application should not be given such access. So there are so many cyber crimes that are happening when this access is limited to only few applications. So such cyber crimes may be avoided. So there should be permissions or access control should be there for any applications that we are going to develop. So how you're accessing or how you're controlling the access permissions is, you have a manifest file, the root tag, we know that. Under this only we are going to define activity or the intents or anything. So users hyphen permission is used to access the permission. So here Android name, android.permission.send SMS. This is the default statement that default value that you are going to pass to Android name, which is this send underscore message is used to, where this send underscore message is used to send the messages from one application to other application. Okay, so this is what we'll use, make use of users and underscore hyphen, users hyphen permission to control our permission. Suppose if you are not giving the send SMS in the permissions, then one application cannot send messages outside the other application. So we are controlling using this users permission. And your application can also define own permissions, can be by using the permission element. Then device compatibility. Device compatibility is where two particular devices are compatible or not. That means those features are available or not in the other. So manifest is also where you can declare what types of hardware or software features your application requires. So that can be done using this users underscore feature, which allows you to declare these features that you need. Suppose if you see this code under the manifest is the root tag, we are not going to change this manifest root file. Under this manifest root, you are giving users hyphen feature. Like users hyphen permission is to control the permission. Users hyphen feature is to assign the required permissions. So what we are giving here, sensor.compass. So you are making use of a compass sensor into your application by giving this feature using users underscore feature. So whether you required it or not. So if you are making it true, it is required. If you are making it false, even though there is a feature here, you are disabling that. So enabling, disabling is possible by giving Android required to true or false. So then similarly Android SDK. SDK is a software development kit where it binds everything, the emulator, the activities or the editors, libraries, the dependencies, all we are using. So all these are nothing but SDK tools, right? So users underscore SDK hyphen SDK is to indicate minimum version with which your app is compatible. So if it is compatible, then only you could able to execute or run your application. Okay. Instead of this users hyphen SDK, you can also specify minimum SDK version and target SDK version in build.gradle. But by default, we can give this users underscore SDK in the manifest file to make it applicable into your application. So this is how we are giving. So Android default configuration, we are doing our configuration for my application package with the ID this one. This is the ID for our package, and it defines the minimum API level as minimum SDK version as 15. Means minimum 15, upon 15 whatever the version 16, 17, 18 whatever you are using, it should be compatible. All the features should be applicable to all the API levels. Suppose if you are using 28, is also applicable, but if you are giving 29, then it is not applicable. Okay, suppose whatever the send permission, send SMS is given. So if you are giving minimum 15 and maximum is 28, if you wanted to send SMS using API 31, then it is not applicable, because you have already defined that your minimum API level is 15 and the maximum API level is 28. Okay, this is how you customize. You will restrict based upon the user's features. Next, file conventions. File conventions means, suppose if you have a manifest file, if you wanted to apply all these manifest files to your package or not, to your application or not. So you can give those rules and conventions which will apply to all the elements and attributes in the manifest file. It is a file convention. Elements only, the manifest and application elements are required. So a manifest is a root tag. Under this root tag, application will be, under your application only you will have activity, intents, service providers, content providers, broadcast receivers, anything. So this will be a subtag for your root tag. These two are required. So under this, you may have or you may not have. That is according to the user requirement. So each must occur only once. So this manifest file will write only once. Under that application, we are talking about only one application. So that is also only once. And most of other elements can occur 0 or more times. That is based upon, suppose if you are using intent, we'll include the intent filter. If you are not using the intent, we will not use the intent filter. So that's based upon the requirement, it changes. Attributes, all attributes are optional. There is like in the activity layout, we'll give layout colon height, layout colon width. So that is required. So if you are giving text or if you are giving hint, so those are all optional based upon the requirement. So optional. So except some attributes of the root manifest element, all attributes name begin with Android colon prefix. Why? Because we are giving as XML NS colon Android. So what is this Android here? Android is a prefix that we are using to avoid the ambiguities. This is a namespace. That is about Android colon prefix. Multiple values. So here we have taken an example of intent filter where you wanted each element is almost always repeated rather than multiple values being listed in a single element. Okay. Intent filter, you have a root tag. Root means parent tag. Under this intent filter, we have is action. 3 times you have given. And each time the action, one is edit, insert and delete. Suppose if you wanted to give more than one value, you want to edit, you also want to insert, you also want to delete according to the requirement. Then all that need to be customized in your manifest file under the intent filter tag. So that then we are going to use this action tag. Resource values. So here resource values, suppose if you are using drawable, this is an example where it is talking about the drawable resource in the activity. So icon should be drawable of small pic. Small pic is that launcher logo. I mean that icon. Okay. So resources are expressed as values with the following format. Now @ package type name. So this is @ drawable is a package and this is what small pic is a name. You can either give name or type. So this is what basic manifest file with the minimum SDK users SDK we have given, and target is 26. So all the features should be applicable in between 15 to 26. Beyond 26, if you are using, those features will not be applicable. So here we have already seen in the example hello world. So hello backup, Android colon, everywhere if you see we are giving Android colon because Android colon is the prefix. Icon at the rate mipmap. Mipmap is used to give the IC launcher, and I want round icon. So I am giving IC launcher underscore round. These are all the values. You will get automated values. You can select by just giving that at the rate mipmap. You will get so many options. Among multiple options, you will select one option. And label app name supports RTL through theme. What are the themes? So this is about the application with different properties. And you also have intent filter. Intent filter with again action, main activity, and category launcher. These are all the values that we are going to define, the properties that we are going to define using action and the category under the intent. So how the intents should be customized, how your icons should be customized, everything we'll write in the applications. Okay, starting with the at the rate bitmap, at the rate drawable, at the rate string, at the rate style. So why we are giving here at the rate means this is a syntax for extracting the launchers or the styling from the resources. So this is just a continuation of that. We have given under activity with the Android name display message activity. So the Android name, this application, this activity will be extracted. Under this activity, you are extracting the Java. Java is parent activity name is .main activity. And this display message activity will be the child, means other Java program. So like this, you can bind multiple programs also. But the root tag will be manifest. So these two, application and manifest, are required. So all other are customized based upon the user requirement. So multiple screen sizes and resolutions. So multiple screen sizes, you could see that I have given XML. So here if you see, the multiple screen sizes and resolutions can be customized using the create device. Going to the create device, we are just going to change the emulator, so that can be customized there. Then performance. So the performance can be increased when the screen is responsive. So whatever the applications that you are defining, so if it is responsive, then only you can execute them, and it should be smooth. Security, keep the source code and user data safe. Whatever the data we are trying to fetch, that data should be secured. So Android Studio will provide you that security. Compatibility, so older versions platform means you are defining users versions, right? Minimum SDK and target SDK values. So 15 to 26 if you are giving, only those will be compatible. So this compatibility check need to be done. And marketing, so understand the market so that whatever the applications you are developing, based on the requirement of the customers and the current market trends, we have to include those features into our APK files, then only it would be successful. So this is about the Android manifest file, where we can use it to bind our XML files and the Java files. So our Android manifest file, we have so far discussed about different content provider, basic building blocks, how to give the permissions, how to restrict the SDK files, and how to make use of users underscore features by enabling and by disabling it. Okay, and what are the two main required tags for your manifest file, manifest and application. Then coming to activity, service provider, building blocks, all these are the building blocks which can be customized in your manifest file. So this also can be asked with a long answer type question, and hope you all understood. Thank you.